I'm gonna beat them out of there. I can do that. What's going on? Finally gonna get around to doing the bearings on the XP Trike. I've spent a couple of days gathering up all the things I've needed to show you what it takes to do the bearings on this bike. I'm already anticipating some problems doing it, and it's a lot of work. So let's get to it. This is the stuff I've accumulated. I got the bearings, bought this puller from Harbor Freight, and I thought I could use this puller right here with the bolt that came out of one side. I've already pulled that out. And they did give you this piece. Look close, you can see where I ground down this rod. This is a 10 millimeter. That's what these screws are. That's what these bolts are that hold the wheels on, are 10 millimeter. But this is different, the piece that's on the puller. It's really weird how they change out one side to the other that it won't fit. That's like, it's another millimeter, but anyway. This is what I've come up with, and I hopefully have all the tools I need here to complete this. These are the bearings I got, 2035-9. It says 2RS on the package, but it's 3RS on the bearing, which is really odd too. But that's them. I got them from Amazon, around 78 bucks for all these, which is just crazy because off-brand bearing. I've already taken the bolt out of this side and loosened up that one part. Let's get the basket off, which I think will work out real well to get my hands in there. I think I'm probably gonna have to take caliper off so I can lower that differential down. I've already pulled the one axle over here. I kind of think there's a C-clip somewhere located in between the caliper. I know I'm gonna have to take that guard off, and so I can drop that piece down to get the bearings out from inside. And yes, it's 94. Yesterday it was 100. There are only 2 of them. It's a pain in the butt. They do not want to come out easy. Like I say, the power of editing, I will get through this quicker. Yeah, there's a nylock on there that just fell out on the ground, and it looks to be countersunk into the plastic guard, which is good. There. That's pretty good. They did that for the nylock so you don't have to use a wrench. Well, that's one smart thing to do. Yeah, there's a clip in there, and that's gotta be what's holding the axle in place. All right, give it another go here. I believe what I'm gonna have to do, go ahead and take the caliper off. Might be able to move that disc over a little bit. And yes, I went and bought a new snap ring spreader. And there's 2 bolts holding this caliper on. That is so tight. It's like it's cross-threaded. I hope that's not cross-threaded. I've never touched this before. Both of them are tight. It has a lot of Loctite on the threads, that's why. The Loctite is a good thing, that's for sure. My goodness, those are long. God, you'd think they were hitting the rotor. A lot of Loctite on there. That's good. This should just pick right up. I'll put it right over here for now. I'll put it over here. Be real careful. Don't touch the brakes because you don't want those to collapse. You don't want to engage them. All right, let's see if this works. Hook this up so it doesn't fall. Just put it on the seat there. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and yank this other axle out. And what will happen is that snap key will just ride the axle until I pull it out. And that's the way I'm going to have to put it back in too. It should come right out now that that snap ring's not there. Make sure it's good and tight. No slop on the thread. Hopefully that little bungee cord will hold it in place so it doesn't fall. All right, there we go. Let's see if it comes. You see that snap ring? It's right there where it fell, and it's hooked onto laying right against one of the bolts on the brake caliper. See, it's probably gonna fall. Yep, there you go. There it is. There's that axle. Yeah. Lay it on this paper towel. Take this bungee cord off. There, it came off the chain, and that's it. Wow, these bearings are all gritty. Yeah, we'll look at them later once I knock them out. This came with the puller pack too. You have to put this on just right for those to spread. Screw it in as they start spreading, and you'll see where you need them to be. A little bit in, get them past there, and now open them up, and you'll feel it get tight there. Well, let's see. These should pop right out. There shouldn't be a big problem here. There it is right there. Threw that away. lessen the space, and that should come right off. We're going to look at these a little bit closer later on, but I can feel the grit in them spinning it. Yeah, there's that one. I see the problem is this won't go all the way over there, so I did buy an extension, a couple extension rods to put on here. Let's get the one on the other side, put them in, and then spin it inward until you feel it grip on there. Boy, the other side just fell out practically. This one doesn't want to come out too easy, does it? Nope. There it is. Turn it the other way to loosen it up so that'll come off. Whoop. That one doesn't feel as bad. Let's make the puller longer. You know, I'm pretty sure I could stick something in there and knock them out. But I went ahead and bought these anyway, so put this in there pretty good. Take this off. Yep. Put that on there. Let's make them pretty tight. And let's see where we get to with just that. We're going to have to do another one. Don't laugh, people. Things I do to make these videos and take care of this bike. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it. Tight, tight. Now, this will have to go through over here. Let that sit there. I'll go ahead and put this nose piece on. Let me just get in here for a minute. Make sure they're spread apart because it has to go in between them. Yeah, that's already bottomed out. I don't get what's going on there. It's not working. I'm gonna beat them out of there. I can do that. What's going on here? Oh, it's different. The top piece is not beveled. That's why. There is another part here. That's why I bought this kit. This other part, just a hook. Okay? And that should work as well for what I'm doing here. Go from one side to the other. Go to the bottom. Hold it tight against the bearing wall, or you'll hit your hand just like I just did. There's that one. They feel pretty good. The inside ones don't take as much punishment as the outer ones. We'll go on the other side. Hold on to it. On the hands, I put my gloves on. You really got to keep it tight against there. Wow, this one's really being tough. Folks, this is what you have to go through to replace these bearings. Here it comes. Oh, there it goes. Bearings are out. Now to put the new ones in. Now let's go ahead and clean that little housing out there. Some brake clean. Let's see what comes out of there. I don't know if I'm going to grease the inside of these to put those other bearings on. Let's clean this other ones. Get all that crap out of there. There's not a lot. Let's get the other side. Yeah, that one had a little rust on it. And I really don't get this bike wet at all. That's just probably from puddles dripping from the inside of the wheels, from the rims, dripping down in there. Remember, that's the side that goes toward the bearing on the inside. Yeah, I put grease on it last time. This is the one I pulled out. I'll put a little grease back on there when I put it back in. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a coating on there that's coming off. Some sort of coating they put on there. And while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and do that C-snap, that little snap. It's really dirty. Now we got to put the bearings in. I had a brass hammer a long time ago. I have no idea where it is. These ones on the inside are going to be the ones to deal with here. I'm going to see if I can tap these in. I know that's not real cool to do. Steel against steel is not cool. I'm not going to really go crazy greasing these. tap these in. Yeah, you can hear the sound change as it starts to bed into the inside little piece right there, that groove that it hits against. Let's tap the other one in. That didn't hurt them. You'd know if they snapped. It's not as if I'm really beating on them bad. They have to be flush. Yeah, if you can hear it bottom out. I'm not going to tell you how old this is. I've had this a long time. I don't even know where it came from. Probably my brother's. I don't know, even my dad. You can see it through the fender well hole there. Yeah, this one really has a lot of slop to it. I don't know why. It just does. I'm just tapping them in there, not real hard. They actually go pretty well. Yeah, you can hear them when they bottom out. Alrighty then, let's do this. I don't know what kind of maintenance this takes. You can see there's Allen heads here. Taking this off, you can get in there to it. I see grease down in there. Yeah, there's a big blob of grease. And I'm touching my rotor. I guess you take them apart, clean them, and re-grease them. Doesn't look that bad. But I would think you guys washing your trikes or riding in the rain, there is a rubber seal here, and there's a rubber seal here too. Water can get in there. These rubber seals probably aren't the best. They look okay. God forbid where you would get, who knows where you would get these rubber seals from. So we got to put this back on the chain. There, hooked it up under my seat. I'm going to spray some oil on it. Right on the front. Wow, you can see where that bearing really was rubbing, really spinning on that axle. Remember what we have to do, put the C-clip in there. Put a little oil on this shaft. We'll do. Let's take a piece of wood. Start knocking it in there. Look for it to come out this end so I can put that clip on there. Hopefully it stays lined up and doesn't knock the bearing out. Just tap slow. It's going in real easy. Here it comes. Wow, that's pretty good. It stayed lined up like that. Yeah, starting to hit there. See, now we got to put our clip on. All right, you hold on right there. Don't go flying off. And put that on there. Before we push any further, actually we can start hitting it in. And take this spongy cord off. Work it with the chain. Get it loose. There. That's that. That tool is holding on there. Start working this in. Getting holed up here somewhere. Oh, there it goes. I guess keep hitting it here. Keep moving this back and forth. So, yeah, whoop, there it goes, right there. Keep hitting it a little bit. You can see where it was. And now there is the beefier part that this has to go around. Hit it till that goes in. Clip goes in, and then I'm going to pull it back till I know it's clipped in there. Yeah, it's clipped in that part. Go ahead and screw that in all the way. Don't get stupid and do it just a little bit. Go all the way and make sure it's tight. No play. And then pull that back until that hits. There. Yeah, that's fine. There it goes, right there. That is exactly how this works. Rinse and repeat. Where I left off yesterday, I've come back in to finish this up today. Let's go ahead and first, before I forget, let's clean that brake rotor off. The best thing I've found is brake clean. I use a paper towel. Get all the grease off there. I touched it a lot. Look at that. Look at all that. So let's put the brake caliper back on. Got a little light out here today. It's something I've got to start thinking about is better lighting. I hope y'all saw what I was doing yesterday. I hope it comes out in the videos. We'll see. There are screws here and there that you can push this side to side if it doesn't line up correctly. But we're going to slip this right back where I got it from. The caliper and the snap ring were the two hardest parts on this trike. Put this on here. That's the one nice thing about these Allen wrenches. Now, if you remember, you saw the nylocks fall off yesterday, so what I'm going to do, hold them in place, is I'll put them in place. Now what I'm going to do is take a piece of tape to hold those there. Yeah. All right, tighten this collar up. We'll need to put this outer collar on here. Remember, this is the side with the raised edge on it that goes toward the bearing. You know, you can actually find the grooves where it's set in there. And there's one on each side. Tighten that down real good. Turn it over. Tighten that down real good. You know, there was on the one of the groups, the guy said he just did all the bearings, and he said the chain came off and tore up his cable, the cord that goes into the electrical wire that goes into the motor. And the one thing I didn't do is I didn't loosen up the tensioner. I knew I could get it back where it belongs. I think what probably happened, the only way it can happen, is he didn't reload his tensioner back up and the chain got loose. I can see that happening. Let's do this other one. There's that groove on there. Goes toward the bearing. Here's our keyway for our wheels. We can go ahead and put my wheel back on. And of course, it's real important that you put the Loctite back on the main bolt. For this wheel going, spinning this way, that's the way the threads go, clockwise. But on the other side, you really need it because the bolt goes on counterclockwise and it can spin off. Put the wheel on, you see where it is, you can sight it to line it up. Right on. Make sure you get that right. The rounded edge outside, the flat edge in. The way you want to put it back together. And that's it. Put the rubber cap back over it. There's our key. Put the wheel on. One of these fenders is still bent up from when I got it delivered. So I have to move the fender. Yeah, see, the fender's not too cool. Make sure I'm lined up here. There we go. Yeah, I gotta lift that out. There it goes on. I don't hear it really rubbing a little bit on the brake pad. Hopefully it's lined up okay. All I have left now, and I'm soaking wet from sweating. At least today it's 84. It was 94, our 100-degree heat index yesterday. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for stopping by, and Christian Today's Hardware for helping me find the parts we needed. And I can show you that box again before we go of the puller I got. I probably spent, let's see, the bearings were $27 a piece on Amazon. So I ended up spending 79 bucks on the bearings, 31 bucks. Yeah, there's the box. I didn't have it yesterday. It's a 2-pound slide hammer, and that really worked out real well. And that was 31, and then miscellaneous bolts and stuff. I probably spent about 160 bucks to do this whole thing. I'll put the basket on later on. And I really want to thank everybody for stopping in and watching this video. I hope it helps somebody else out that's going to be doing the bearings. And like I say again, if you've got over 500, 800 miles on your trike, you probably should consider putting new bearings on it. Depending on where you ride, I've seen some people have problems with 200 miles on it. And they're probably on gravel roads and really getting it dirty and stuff like that. And water gets in here, they'll destroy them. I'd stay away from rain and water as much as possible because they will get in every crack and crevice on this bike. And hope to see you on my next video, and thank everybody for subscribing to my channel that has. That's really great. It helps my channel out. Helps me keep going with this, and we'll catch you on the next one.